Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video I wanted to talk about Azure Landing Zone. As you can see, I am currently on the MS Learn for Landing Zone, and it starts with what is Landing Zone. So let's just answer that question: what it is and why is it important for someone who is in cloud support, cloud analyst, or cloud engineer. Although engineer would know more about it because they're engineer. But anyways, anyone who's looking to get some knowledge, just refresher, I hope this video is going to be helpful for them. I'm going to try to keep it precise, short, and full of rich in knowledge. Okay, anyway, so what is Azure? We can go through this all, and or what we can do is we can use AI, and I just asked it what is Azure Landing Zone for the YouTube beginner audience. In my opinion, ChatGPT does summarize these topic very concisely with emojis and all that, which helps you to go through them instead of reading through this. But let's just start here. Azure Landing Zone is basically the foundation, in my opinion. It is laying down the foundation. Imagine you're building a city, so this, and you have to lay down the grids, the wiring, the electrical, the sewage. All that is what a landing zone is basically for before you go ahead and deploy apps or VMs or any sort of workload. So landing zone is a ready to use cloud environment built with best practices. Best practices is something that the cloud environment, the cloud sector has deemed as the best approach. So that's what it means by best practices. So instead of randomly creating resources, so what would you do is we would just go ahead and create VMs and VNets and like storage accounts and try to connect them all. A better approach is to use Azure Landing Zone. Okay, what it encompasses is it gives you the structure, the security, networking, and governance. Those are the four main things a landing zone will give you when you are deploying or starting out in cloud or migrating towards the cloud. Simple analogy would be, think of Azure like an empty land. A landing zone is roads, rules, policies, security, and the divisions. That's what I kind of said earlier. Before you build houses, which would be apps or VMs or database. What does it include? It includes these 5 things. It includes organization. So in organization, you create management groups, subscriptions, and resource groups to keep things clean and scalable. Governance. So governance is where you apply policies, regions you want things to deploy it in, the naming standard you want to follow, the tagging to the resources you create later on is something that comes under governance. It prevents chaos as you grow. Third is networking. You can lay down the VNets in here, subnets, and also design the networking. So if you want to go with hub and spoke design, that's something you do in the landing zone. Security wise, you also define RBAC, so role-based access control, who has access to what, and also identity integration, so the control to the things are done here. App monitoring, of course, we would need that. So it helps you deploy the monitoring or the foundation for the monitoring to the resources you're going to deploy later on. So log analytic workspace alerting is all covered under monitoring. So those are the 5 things you will be deploying if you are deploying an Azure Landing Zone. Now, a landing zone will come in picture for someone who is trying to move away from an on-prem infra to cloud only. Even hybrid, it will work for you. And if you just want to have a start, so like the company IT team has okay, we are gonna go to cloud. So where do we start? We start by following the best industry practice and that includes a landing zone. A landing zone is where you will sit with your engineering team and you will just lay down all the map or everything before you go ahead and deploy things in the cloud. So that is why a landing zone is very important, and its benefits we already went through it. It helps you organize, it helps with the governance, networking, security, and monitoring. Now, some important clarification by ChatGPT for beginners is landing zone is not an app, so it is not, you're not deploying an app. Deploying an app will come later on. This is laying down the foundation. So instead, it prepares the environment so you can safely deploy those things. A simple definition in your interview could be a foundation you build before deploying anything in Azure. A real example, without landing zone, you will just create a VM, some networks, no policy, and it's all messy. With landing zone, there will be rules that already exist, network already designed, and logging already enabled. Why companies use it? It avoids security issues, stays compliant through policies, scales easily, and standardized deployments. One-liner. Azure Landing Zone is a pre-configured secure foundation that prepares your cloud environment before you deploy workload. So let me go back to the learn page, so we're not just reading out from ChatGPT. So this is the page, and I just wanted to expand this diagram here. Let me open it in a new cell. Okay, there we go. So as we learned earlier, if we go back, what a landing zone does. The first thing it does is organizes. So we have management group, subscription, and resource group. So if we look at this diagram by Microsoft on their page, this is one of the like an example architect by them try to explain things. So I'm gonna try to explain it more here. So management groups is this place here. You can see they have a lot of subscription here. So there's connectivity, identity, management, security, decommission, all that. Above it is where you have management groups. So there's always gonna be a root group. That's what you get when you spin up an Azure subscription. And then you design different management groups. So if you have a platform, then you will have a platform management group, and underneath that you will have sub management groups. So for security team, like if you have a security team, you will have a separate management group, and that will have a separate subscription. And underneath that subscription is where all the security things or security components of your Azure infrastructure will live. So the reason why we do this quickly is if you have a security team, they need to have access to everything regarding security. So we will just give them access to this management group, and that way they will have access to everything in the subscription, and then they will be able to manage it easily. So that's why you have all these different management groups and separate subscription. Same if you have a management team and they need access to all the management things like the cost management, the role assignment, policies, all those, then you will have, it makes sense you have a separate subscription with under a separate management group, so that giving these people in management access to this all of this easily. So that is basically where it starts. It starts out by creating these management groups and adding different subscription, and then once you have the subscription, you can start deploying things. So for identity, you will have identity stuff. So let's look at what's under identity. So it encompasses your domain controller. So if you're using domain services, there it is, or even virtual machines like DC1, DC2, VNets, and recovery vault, and UDRs, networks, security groups, all those that will help you manage identity will be under identity. Same as for connectivity, is where your firewall, your DNS, your VNet, a lot of things, policies, express route, DNS, hub, and all that will live. So that's what I hope that gives you an idea. But basically, it starts out by organizing, starting with management group, governance. So by governance, you will have these policies. So each department will have its own governance or sets of rules. So having these divisions, you can just apply the policies, separate sets of policies to each. Okay, so that's how you do it. Networking, security, RBAC. So as I said, a security team can be given full access to this subscription through RBAC. I'm trying to be fast, and I'm sorry, but I'm just saying, like, that's what a landing zone will do. It will help you plan everything out, and you can imagine, okay, once all this is laid out, then it's super easy to just give people access to the subscription they are supposed to be part of. Security team will get access to this, and they can do everything they want to do and in their own little shell. An identity team can do their own thing, but all that will be pre-designed and calculated, and that is what landing zone will do for you. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, I think that is it for landing zone, and I'm just gonna cut it here right now. And next video I am going to show you how you can deploy a landing zone through accelerators. So if we go back in here, design principle, this is where the best practices come into place. But basically, next video we will talk about the landing zone accelerators. So how do you deploy them? Now we have designed everything. Next would be deploying them. And to deploy them, we have few different ways you can do that, and one of the ways is called accelerators, and that's how you implement or start the deployment process. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at, and thanks for watching.